It was from CBC News and it was written on the 13th of November. Nearly 1 in 10 terrorism investigations at CSIS involves a minor. So I thought that was super interesting because I can kind of see that happening just the way the climate and everything is so radicalized these days. And because they have more access to social media and there's more people speaking about their opinions, let's say politically, or about things that are definitely more controversial more than ever, I do think that's going to have some repercussions in the younger generation because kids are always listening, right? I don't think that's a shock to anybody. I think if you have kids or been around kids, they absorb things. I don't, but I just have been around them and I know that they absorb things. So definitely if you're talking about these kind of things more and more in your home as well, without thinking about it, sometimes your kids could be adopting that same verbiage or those thought patterns, or maybe they're listening to some gamers and they're talking about their political opinion. It's kind of coming in on all ends right now. So I wasn't entirely shocked that this was a title, but I thought we could go over this article. So the head of Canada's spy agency is warning about a worrying number of young people becoming radicalized. In his first annual address, Canadian Security Intelligence Service Director Dan Rogers said violent extremism, be it motivated by religion or ideological or political views, persists as one of Canada's most significant national security concerns. Now, I know if you are on, let's say, the more conspiratorial, forward thinking, questioning everything, and you're seeing what's happening in the UK with digital ID, I know a lot of this stuff too. You want to be careful. Obviously, we don't want kids to be being a part of this extremism online, but then at what point is it starting to become now mass surveillance in different ways? Where do these slippery slopes happen? And we usually see it when it's trying to protect the kids, let's say, which I don't disagree with, but even hearing Roblox coming out with kids and people having to scan their faces to play their game still kind of makes me a bit nervous, but I have no trust. I digress, but I was trying to take some of these things at face value because there's definitely, a dangerous part growing of concern when you get into an echo chamber and that cult-like mentality. At the same time, when we start being picky of what people can say and what they can't say, we also see some of our freedoms go away, right?